Once again, the stars align and come together for this Christmas present from Quentin Tarantino. Hello there to everyone watching, and Merry Christmas from RealScreenReviews.com. I am, of course, film critic Nick Yakabuchi, and our next movie review is Django Unchained. This Western and drama opened in wide release on Christmas Day 2012, and it stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Sam Jackson, Jamie Foxx, and Christoph Waltz. As I previously stated, this film comes to us from writer-director Quentin Tarantino, the brilliant filmmaker responsible for Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, and the Kill Bill films. He now sets out for a tale of revenge and puts the backdrop of slavery as the driving force behind it. Well, people, I have said this before, and I'm going to say it again. For me, Quentin Tarantino movies are nothing short of an event. I have actually deemed his movies better than Christmas, and that's because Christmas comes every year, and Quentin Tarantino movies usually come once every couple of years. This man just never ceases to amaze me, and I think that he represents his own brand or type of film. I would never classify any of his films as standard as an action film, a comedy, or a drama, because he always achieves layered stories with layered characters. His brilliant use of writing dialogue and getting the absolute best out of every actor make him not only one of the best filmmakers currently, but one of the best filmmakers in the history of cinema. Now, like most Tarantino projects, Django Unchained is pure, unabashed violence. However, the violence is without question an accompaniment to both the story and the characters. In a very big way, Django very much reminded me of Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ, and in this respect, both films never hold back from trying to tell the most honest depiction of a very turbulent time or era. The violence in this film is in-your-face brutal, and whether it's torture by a whip, being hidden in a hot box, being shot, or a plain good old-fashioned fight, Django Unchained is shockingly violent. To me, however, Tarantino would have done himself, the audience, and the victims of the time a disservice if he would have told this tale any other way. I guess that I can't be the only one that feels this way, and that's because within the last few days, the NAACP gave Django Unchained multiple nominations, including Best Picture for their Image Awards. The first thing that I loved about this film was that I was looking at the 1860s going into the Civil War, but I was listening and feeling the Vietnam era from the 1970s. The songs throughout this film accompanied the era of the 1970s, and even Broomhilda's full name was Broomhilda von Shaft. She is supposed to be the great-grandmother of the 1970s hero John Shaft, and there are many other actors in this film that represent that time period as well. You have Don Johnson, Luke Duke himself, Tom Wopat, Lee Horsley, Don Stroud, and Russ Tamblyn. These are great actors from the 70s and 80s, and it was awesome to see them in front of the camera once again. Now, also back in front of the camera for Tarantino is Christoph Waltz, and in my opinion, he could be the only noble white man in this film. His character, Dr. King Schultz, doesn't like or believe in slavery, and I think that he even says something in the film about using slavery to his advantage, but he can't believe that it's even an exercised concept in America. Waltz was brilliant when he last teamed with Tarantino, taking home an Oscar for Inglourious Basterds, and he's back at the top of his game once again in Django Unchained. This man just radiates savoir-faire, and with pleasant charm and pompous likability, he backs up the lead and central character of the story. Now, he never tries to one-up or steal the scenes from Fox. No, instead he expertly and effortlessly brings to life the definition of a supporting role. Kerry Washington was also good, adding not only motivation for the lead, but also sympathy, heart, and soul to what could have been a standard background character. Then, as in many Tarantino movies, as well as in movies in general, there are some standout and great villains here. Sam Jackson once again takes on a great role, almost an anomaly of sorts. He doesn't look like the Sam Jackson that we all know, and he loses himself in this diabolical persona. He owns a power over the other slaves, and that's really the contradiction because he is a slave himself, but he's also the very trusted advisor to the film's main villain, Calvin Candie. Calvin Candie is portrayed with absolute vigor and zest by Leonardo DiCaprio, and pairing this guy with Quentin Tarantino is nothing short of a magical conjunction. I just love the way that this elegant speaker and displayer of physical motions would shine those pearly yellows His teeth were just ridiculous. I can say that this is the first time, though, in a long time that I have seen DiCaprio have this much fun in front of the camera, and this ranks right up there at the top of the list with the best performances of his career. He lights up the screen with personality and charm, and under Tarantino's direction has pulled off one of the finest hours of an actor for him. Jamie Foxx in the title role of Django gives us his best performance since Ray and proves Oscar-worthy once again. His character just exudes a strength about him. Django is very easy to sympathize and root for, but sometimes I felt that he got lost amongst the rest of the colorful characters. DiCaprio, Sam Jackson, and Christoph Waltz shine bright and sometimes eclipse the star of Fox, and in the smallest of ways, it was like the original Batman franchise where all of the villains always overshadowed the Caped Crusader. Now don't get me wrong, because Jamie Foxx is absolutely awesome and he owns the screen when he's on it, I just could have used a little bit more of him there. At 2 hours and 45 minutes, Django Unchained was nothing short of a bloody good time, and in the process, Tarantino has crafted nothing short of a masterpiece. It's amazing that this director repeatedly pays all of this homage to all of these cheap and cheesy and crappy films, and in the process, repeatedly delivers us one of the best films of the year. This film is immensely and undeniably satisfying, and the dialogue, the violence, and the dramatic intensity all pay off. Tarantino walks the tightest of ropes with this project and comes close to the line, but in my opinion, he honors those depicted by telling an honest tale. Nick's Real Screen Review is a perfect 4 stars out of 4, and that's for Quentin Tarantino's violent slavery revenge drama known as Django Unchained. Well, I'm afraid that's all the time that I have right now. If you have enjoyed this review, please click like below and give me a thumbs up, or subscribe to Real Screen Reviews if you haven't yet already. I'm sure that I'll be returning soon enough with more movie and trailer reviews. Until next time, this is Nick Yacobucci saying, remember people, that I'm not always right, but only when it comes to the movies, and thank you for your attention.